Hello, my name is Jack Zampano, and I'll be talking to you about how MJ is the greatest basketball player of all time. So, the most dominant player of basketball right now is currently not playing in the NBA. He's retired. People always debate who the greatest athlete is for each sport, and knowing who and why they are is great knowledge for conversation. So, I'm here to persuade you on how Michael Jordan is the best basketball player of all time. And today I will prove that through going over his career stats, his achievements, and his rivals. So, to start analyzing a player, you should always look towards their statistics because it shows you their efficiency and their influence on the court. People always look at three certain stats that represent how good a player is. They look at total career points, average points per game, and defensive efficiency. So, first, we're going to go over Michael Jordan's stats. So, the first statistic that people like to use to see how good a player is their total points for their career. The stat line is important because it shows you who the most efficient scorers are in NBA history. So, to find this out, I went on the website Basketball References, which is one of the most credible websites for finding out player stat lines and is used by a lot of people. And what I found was that Michael Jordan's career stat total was 32,292 points, which makes him the fifth best scorer of all time, only behind a few players that had played at the start of basketball that had less competition than him. So the second stat people like to view and compare players is their average points per game, or PPG. The stat is used to show the average amount of points a player scores on a game-to-game basis, which shows how much you can expect them to score per game. This also comes from Basketball Reference, which is extremely credible, and it shows that MJ's career points per game ended at 30.1 points per game after 15 seasons. This is the best points per game average in NBA history, and only one player is below him at 30.07. And after that, it drops 3 points to 27.36, which shows you how dominant Michael Jordan actually was. Now, the third set of stats people like to see is defensive efficiency, because you don't only want to look at offensive stats, you want to look at the defense because it shows how well rounded that player was. Now, what stands out for Michael Jordan was his steals. And at the end of his career, he finished with 2,514 steals, which made him the third most steals in NBA history. So, statistics define who you are, but a player's achievements elevate them from a good player to one of the all time greats. So, now we're going to look at Michael Jordan's achievements. So, Michael Jordan had a lot of eye opening achievements, but one of his best, reported by the website Bleacher Report, one of the most well known athletic companies that posts credible facts and analysis daily. They stated that MJ received 5 MVP awards and was actually snubbed out of a 6 that should have been given to him. This shows how dominant on the court MJ was because only one player was able to get 6 MVPs, and the majority of players aren't even able to obtain such an honor and an achievement, and he did it 5 times. Now, another mouth dropping achievement talked by Fadeaway World Webs, a website that's well known for reporting basketball articles, says that MJ obtained 10 scoring titles. Now, to put into perspective how difficult it is to get 10 scoring titles, the person that's behind MJ in scoring titles got 7, and the person after that only got 4. So MJ was by all time the best scorer. Now, the most convincing achievement MJ ever accomplished was his NBA Finals wins. And you know how dominant a player is based on how many times he's gone to the NBA championship and won it. And in his peak, Michael Jordan went to the finals 6 times and won all 6. And after winning all 6, he was also named the MVP for the finals in all 6 of them. Nobody has ever come close to being compared to his 100% win rate in the NBA Finals, on top of him getting all finals MVPs. Now, with every GOAT comes another athlete that is able to make a debate for taking the title, and that's LeBron James. LeBron James and Michael Jordan, the battle of the GOATs. Now, when people debate who the best in the game, it's between these two individuals only. Now, an article published by SportingNews.com, a world famous news website that posts international and national information, talks about how LeBron has more all time points than Michael Jordan, and he also has more NBA Finals appearances than Michael Jordan. And he's also been in more playoff seasons. And they also debate that it was easier for MJ to win these titles because of the teammates on his team compared to who LeBron James had. Now, what people don't tell you when arguing that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan is that LeBron James has made it to the NBA Finals 8 times, 2 more than Michael Jordan, but he's only won 3 out of the 8. And compared to Michael Jordan's 15 season, LeBron James has played 17. Now, what makes LeBron James the second best player in NBA history and not the first is that it actually took him 16 seasons to pass Michael Jordan on the all time scoring list. So, if you take away that last season, he would be behind Michael Jordan. And he only won 3 out of the 8 NBA finals that he's been to. Now, he has been to 8, but he doesn't have the clutch factor that Michael Jordan has that puts him over the edge as the best player of all time. So, the greatest players of all time will always be contested with other players, but what makes someone the best is their clutch mentality and their pure aggression shown in the game, whether it's on the field, ice, or court, and Michael Jordan shows that. So, in conclusion, Michael Jordan is the best player that has ever stepped foot on a basketball court. His career achievements of 5 MVPs, 10 scoring titles, and a 6-for-6 NBA championship record are completely unmatched. His career stats are almost all NBA top records, and he's been there for decades, and his dominance on the floor separates him from anybody in the GOAT conversation. Sports are one of the most talked about topics in the world, and knowing your facts will be extremely helpful in many situations, especially conversations, and will propel you into a deeper conversation and deeper connection with people you're talking to. So, without a doubt, MJ is the GOAT. And in fact, I may argue that instead of being the greatest basketball player of all time, you could argue that he was definitely one of the greatest athletes of all time. Thank you.